Well, our latest former hoop to give us his best 1 to 11, the best 1 to 11 that he played with in his League of Ireland career is Tony O'Dowd. Tony, who played with Rovers between 98 and 2003. Player of the Year, 99. Tony, it was a good year for you.
Well deserved.
You also obviously had spells early on with St. Pat's, had a very successful spell with Derry City before you came to Rovers, and then played with Drogheda and Shells afterwards. So you have a fair few players to choose from when you look down through that career. And of course you had 4 under-21 caps as well, so I suppose you played with some good players in that team as well. A bit like Alan O'Neill, who we had on recently. For a goalkeeper, it's a bit different in a way, I suppose, when you're picking, say, your best goalkeeper, for example, in that, given that you were the goalkeeper in the team, you wouldn't have had that many other choices to choose from, if you know what I mean. So we start with number 1.
Yeah, we'll start with the keeper. As you say, it's a difficult one as a keeper. You know, if you're a midfielder or something, you're playing with loads of midfielders, and it could be 3 in midfield, 4 in midfield. But when you're a keeper, there's generally just 2 keepers, especially back then in League of Ireland. It was generally just 2 keepers sort of thing. So any team I was with, I might have only played with like 6 or 8 keepers, really, you know what I mean? But the only one I felt, and it was kind of coming towards the end of my career, the only one I felt that was better than me at the time, and I didn't have really a complaint to be on the bench with, was kind of my last season with Drogheda, and that would have been Dan Connor.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, like, at the time I was about 35, he was kind of 24 and kind of in the height of his power sort of thing, and excellent keeper, really agile, alert, fit, strong. His kicking was good, strike the ball very well, distribution, and his talking was excellent as well, sort of thing. So that was the only time where I felt there was a better keeper at the club than me, sort of thing. If there was a better keeper at the club, I would have just kind of, you have to leave as a goalkeeper, you know what I mean?
All right, that's it.
Because you know that you're always going to be on the bench, and you know at the back of your head, he's better than me anyway. So when he's playing well, he'll always get in ahead of me. So the number 1 would be Dan Connor. Okay,
well, Dan, I mean, he had a very good career, so that bears out what you were saying. Just before we get into the defence, I'm assuming, is it a back 4 you're going to play, or is it 5 at the back? Or
I'm going to go 4-4-2.
Right. Okay. Well, before we get into the defence, just a quick word about what you're up to nowadays, and do you get to many games?
I'm working in Pfizer, so that's kind of shift work. So every second weekend I do work. So I probably get to every second, kind of when they're at home, I get to the home game sort of thing. And obviously with me youngster playing up at Rovers and I'm coaching up there, it's handy to get down, and he wants to go to the games, and generally through the season, kind of 4 or 5 times we bring the whole team as a group to a home game, you know what I mean?
It's one of the features. I mean, so many former players are now involved in coaching roles with the underage teams at Rovers, with the academy. It's just such a positive sort of follow through of the generations. I think it's a great thing to see.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'd look at a lot of say videos of Ajax or Ajax on online on YouTube, and I look the way they play, and every game you see on Ajax TV, there's always former players either coaching it or at the game, looking at the game, and these could be under 13s, under 15s, under 17s, under 19s games, and you see lads that have had big careers, say, in the Premiership or in the Liga, and like say 50 or 60 internationals, and they're going to under 13 games at Ajax. So I think that's what we're trying to bring into the club, more of a, maybe like a college thing in America, where if that's your college, you support the college for the rest of your life. If that's your team, you kind of go back and help out them with the young lads, and it's great. It's really enjoyable, like the kids, they soak
model to follow, isn't it?
Yeah, they soak it all in. I'm really enjoying it, you know what I mean? So, and I know the rest of the lads are as well. Even current players are up there, Aaron Green, Nolan Finn, they're coaching teams as well. So hopefully when they finish their career, it'll just be a natural thing there. They went to it and take the 13s, 15s, and 19s, whatever, you know. Yeah. It's brilliant to see, you know.
Just very briefly on a separate note, Pfizer, are they the ones? Do they make Viagra?
Oh, they do indeed, yeah. It's brilliant. Highly recommend it.
You're going to be
or anything now. You're trying to say something there, Con? You heard your rumours or something?
I just realised I am actually slightly older than you, but I haven't tested the products yet.
In other words, yeah, just send me on your address.
It's good to now that I have your phone number, yeah.
You know you're in your mate, always looking for freebies, you know what I mean?
Listen, I want to change the subject very quickly. I can't believe I brought that up. So listen, let's go for your right back, number 2.
This was a tough one now. Well, they were all tough, really, to be honest. But the kind of 4 I came down to was Pascal Vaudecan, Richie Porty, Pat Deans, and Matt Britton. All very good players, like all had their own different things. Like Richie Porty's hard as nails. Like Dean's very versatile, could play a lot of positions. Matt Britton, loads of energy and a good tactic. But I went with Pascal Vaudecan just because he was a good defender. He was actually kind of a right back before his time. If he was playing now, he'd be probably worth a couple of million because he was just so good on the ball and he was up and down. More of an attacking fullback than a defending fullback, but he used to occupy the left winger brilliantly. Whereas I said, the other lads like Richie Porty, hard as nails, like I wouldn't fancy like the battles between him and Mark Rutherford, you know, were legendary. And around that time, once they came up to playing each other, it was nearly the front page of the sports section, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was guaranteed to be fireworks.
Pascal was one of the few kind of French players who came here and kind of made a very good career here.
Yeah. He obviously did very well at Derry, and he was at Shells, and I played with him at Derry and at Rovers. But lovely guy, and you know, very dedicated, and you know, kind of a fullback ahead of his time. Like really, you know, that sort of way. And he'd be a great modern fullback nowadays, sort of thing, you know.
Who gets left back then?
That's another tough one. It was kind of between Tommy Dunn, Pat Kelch, Sean Harrigan, and Richie Bourne. The same thing, all different things. Like Tommy Dunn, like for a full back to have a career he had when he had absolutely no pace was unbelievable. You know what I mean? It showed me, and when I was thinking about it, showed me his positional sense and how he read the game, because he'd be coming up against, you know, wingers are generally the quickest players in the team. He'd be coming up with the quickest player in the team, and he was the slowest player in their team. He still got away with it because of his reading of the game. Pat Kelch very underrated as well as Pat's, because they had a very good time, or a very good team at that time when he was playing. Sean Harrigan, absolute beast up in Derry, like another lad that could play anywhere, and strong as an ox, and you know, just got on with it. I mean, kind of like a kind of James Milner type of guy, you know. No, just got on with the game. You know, very dry sense of humour. And but the one I'm going to go with is Richie Bourne, played at Rovers. Fantastic, up and down, strong, absolute beast. And if you see his Instagram now, he's got actually bigger. He's like a leading monster now. But lovely lad, great on the ball, could make them strong runs, get back defending, absolutely strong, like, you know, just a terror defending. I'd hate to be trying to mark him, you know. So I went with Richie Bourne, sort of thing, you know.
So it's another former hoop at back. 2 centre halves then.
2 centre halves. Again, centre halves is a tough one because we'd have a lot, you know, to do with centre halves. Kind of that'd be my game. My kind of main thing was organising the defence. That's what I was very good at. Average shot stopper, coming for crosses, average enough. But the thing I was good at was organising, so I'd have to really work with 2 centre halves. Like you kind of had Paul Curran, you know, Stephen Gray, who's up at Rovers now, Gavin Dykes, you know, just put a breeze blocks in front of his head and he'd head it, you know. But the two I'm going to go with are Terry Palmer and Darren Kelly, who I played with. Darren came into the team, I think when he was 16. And I think one of his first games was playing, I don't know if you remember him, a lad called Ian Gilzine. They used to play for Sligo.
Oh, yeah.
Sligo and Pats. Big, strong, aggressive centre forward. You know, kind of back in the day, the elbows flying. And he came in at 16. I think he played when he was 16. And he actually put him in his box. He was unbelievable, strong, quick, good on the ball. Actually, when he was 17, Liverpool came in, tried to sign him, and he wouldn't go because even at 17, he was going out with his girlfriend like 4 years or something at that stage, and he wouldn't leave because she didn't want him to leave.
Wow.
Went like that. They split up 2 years later. He didn't get to move to Liverpool. So
it's isn't it amazing the way decisions like that, you know, when you come to a split in the road, do you go down the right hand side of the
road? I know.
Although did Darren go on to get full international caps for Northern Ireland?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I think he eventually went off to York. Then I think that sort of thing. He definitely got a move, and he had a good career. And he managed Oldham and that sort of thing, and Halifax, and I think he's at Hyde United now as a director of football.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets in, and obviously Terry Palmer is a great Shamrock Rovers legend. The whole family are very Rovers.
Yeah, very underrated by like the whole league. Even back then, he was very, very underrated. Would have had probably Pat Scully with him, and Pat Scully would have got the plaudits and all the limelight. But for me, Terry was excellent. Like you know, just did his job. Someone coming through, we'd get a toe. Just a toe here, a toe there. Wouldn't be big sliding tackles, wouldn't be things. He'd just do his job and always did his job. Always an 8 out of 10. Never like a 4 or a 10. Always a solid, dependable, you know what I mean? Like, and probably didn't blow his own trumpet enough. Probably didn't like look to the crowd, just got on with his job, didn't start throwing tantrums and where people go, oh yeah, he's organising the back four, where they don't really know what the centre half's talking about. You know, he's just shouting, and then someone in the stand says, oh look, he's great, he's organising the team, and he could be shouting anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. He just got on with the job, knew his job, and it was a pleasure to play with. You know what I mean? It's never asked me back, which was
another reason why he's in the team. So you have 4 across the midfield then. We go right side midfield?
Yeah, right side of the midfield. This came down for 2 people with me. It was Tom Mullen that I played with the under-19s manager now, and Shane Robinson. 2 very similar players, pacey, quick, hard workers. But I just came down on the side of Robbo. Very tight. Two lovely lads. Tom's great lad. Genuine lad, hard working. Well, just came down Robbo's side just because at that time he was kind of the type of winger I like. At that stage he was kind of quick, direct, strong, and would track back as well. You know, he kind of had it all. I know he eventually went into centre midfield, but when I played him, he was a right winger. And I think he was a bit 19 when he kind of came up, and he came up from Waterford, you know what I mean? He had that kind of bit of, not cockiness, but arrogance that a good young player has.
Yeah. And
I kind of like that about him, and I like to see that a bit of personality, you know?
Yeah.
So he got it, and, you know, he had a great career as well, sort of thing, you know?
Yeah. Still doing great work for Shamrock Rovers as well.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
On the left side of midfield then?
left side again, that came down to kind of two outstanding players we played with. One was Paul Ozam and the other was James Keddy. Kind of the start of my career, well, when I came back from Leeds, when I went to Pats, and I would have played with Ozo down there. And at that stage, like he eventually ended up in centre midfield, but when I was down at Pats, he was a left winger. Excellent. And then with James Keddy, I played with Derry and Rovers. Kind of, James probably one of the best players never to kind of get a move away to England, like sort of thing, you know.
Really? Yeah.
Was always talking and going, and I know when he was at Derry, when I was there, he went over on trial a couple of times to English clubs. For whatever reason, just never worked out for him. Maybe it was he's kind of got a laid back attitude, maybe kind of people are saying as he's really into it, but excellent player. That's just his demeanour. He's just very laid back. But I went with Ozo just because it's just Ozo, isn't it? He's just a super player and strong, you know, for his height. Like he's 6'4". So good in the ball. His feet are so good, and as well, he gives you that aerial threat. You know, any ball into the box, he's gonna get his noggin on, sort of, you know. But I went to Ozo in the end. Tough one though.
I think when they were doing a list in the paper recently of, you know, the top 50 players who've played in the league in sort of the last 20 or 30 years, I think, you know, Paul was well up there. You know, he really was a player on his day. There's no doubt about it. Two centre midfields?
Two centre midfields. I've gone with, that was a tough one as well. The centre forwards, there's a lot of people in the mix. Kind of, how did I go? I went with eventually. I eventually went with Eddie Gormley and Paul Hegarty. Now that's leaving out like Derek Tracy, Mark Kenny, Peter Hutton, Paul Dool, and Alan Reynolds. You know, like there's some player it was very tough picking there. You know, like a lot of players could easily say, like, you know, you go with Doolers, unbelievable career. Like they name out. You go with Peter Hutton. You know, he's a Derry. He won everything. He won all the player of the year, personality of the year, everything. Top goal scorer that season. He won everything. But when he was there that year, he got everything. He got all the balls. But the player beside him, Paul Hegarty, was just immense. He was the main man in that team. And probably if you name that team, he's probably one of the last players you probably think of. We played in the pre-season tournament then against Celtic and Newcastle and PSV, and we beat Celtic at Lansdowne Road, and then we played Newcastle in the final, and Kenny Dalglish wanted to sign him after that game, but he was just too old. I think he was 31, 32 at that stage, but like back in the day,
would he have been the kind of, you know, your hard ball winning centre mid?
That's it. It was kind of, he was the exact player that we were missing at Rovers when I was there. Right. We'd have had him at Rovers. He could have let Derek or Mark do their team, and he would have just said that. That's the exact type of midfield we were missing. Hard as nails. He was a lumberjack.
It's good to
the hardest man I've ever.
And he's still hard on the sidelines now, and he's
hard, but lovely guy. Absolutely lovely guy. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
And with him in there, obviously that gives Eddie Gormley the freedom to produce what he's capable of.
That's what I'm saying. Like when Paul was in there, Peter Hutton used to just make runs all day. Hegsy just stopped him. Same thing with Eddie. Like when I was looking at midfielders, Eddie could do it all. Like Eddie was strong as well. You know, like Eddie was nasty. You know what I mean? He could go over the top when he wanted. And at that stage in the league, you kind of had to. You know what I mean? You had to be able to look after yourself. It's not like kind of now where it's kind of all power playing. Like when you went there, like you had to look after yourself. Eddie could play a 50-yard ball. He could get it into his feet. Like he was a left footer, but took penalties with his right foot. So that's how much confidence he had with his so-called.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
he probably would have changed it now after missing the penalty on the cup final against Shells. If he had her own, he probably would have took her his left foot. But yeah, like set piece delivery for him, like, was unbelievable. I remember he scored. I was playing for Derry. He scored probably a 35-yard volley from in Richmond down the shed end, and it was dropped out of sky. I knew exactly what he was going to do, and I knew where he was going to put it. But I couldn't take that chance because if he missed it and went into a corner, it would have been good. But he hit it, and I still knew where it was on. And just thought we still couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
Super player. He had everything. You know what I mean?
Brilliant player. Great to watch. So that only leaves 2 places left in the team, Tony. You're 2 men up front. Again, who to choose from here?
I'll just run through a few names to show you how hard it was. But I would have had like Tony Cousins, Sean Francis, Glenn Fitzpatrick, Tony Grant, Gary Beckett, Stephen Grant. But like, you know what I mean? The 2 I'm going to go with is Liam Coyle and Noel Hunt. Obviously, I played with Noel for a couple of seasons when he first came to Rovers. Super lad. Just energy, boundless energy. Like, you know what I mean? He must have been an absolute nightmare to mark because he was non-stop. And for the height of him, he was unbelievable in the air. He had the biggest spring I've ever seen in my life. He'd just go 10 feet in the air. Like, we played Celtic in a friendly and he absolutely terrorised. I don't know if you remember Bobo Baldi.
Yes, of course.
He used to play centre half. He absolutely terrorised him. At the end of the game, Bobo Baldi got him by the throat. He was that frustrated. Just terrorised him. And Noel was just laughing and just played him off the park. And then obviously he had a great career and played for Ireland and all that. And to this day, he definitely scored that goal that Robbie Keane claimed. I'm not unsure.
Yeah. But he did. The one thing you're talking about there about him, he had this kind of air of cockiness or confidence or something again for a young player through that. It was great to see.
When I'm saying cockiness, it's not like he wasn't cocky off the pitch and saying cocky off the pitch. Like, I like players that are cocky on the pitch and believe in their ability. You have to believe in their ability, but are nice lads off the pitch. They were Robbo and kind of from the same area, obviously Waterford, but they were lovely lads off the pitch. But like, no airs of grace about them, no, think that. But on the pitch, they have. It's not even. It's just in them, you know what I mean? That's you love to see that they're so young. They just believe in their ability and they don't doubt it, and they haven't got to a stage where they're going to go off and make a mistake here. They're just going out to play and enjoy it. And he definitely had that. He just it looked like he just played off the cuff sort of thing, you know?
And then Liam Coyle, what can you say?
Yeah, well, like Liam Coyle, like he'd be in every team you kind of have, you know what I mean? Like where Noel would be buzzing all over the place to jump as quick as anything. Liam was the total opposite. Like, he was as slow as anything, turned like a boat, but his touch was unbelievable. Like, I don't know if defenders were just in a trance, but he seemed to move so slowly on the pitch. Yeah, defenders couldn't get near him, and he'd make a turn, and it looked like it was the Titanic turning, and the defender would be on their arse, and he'd be kind of going, how did he do that? Just like, he does that, and then the defender's all over the place. Super player, touch, and like, talk about setting people up and playing, linking with the midfield, and like even like with a big Robocop strap around, he still scoring goals for fun. Just like not a waste of a career, but his injuries just held him back so much. If he didn't have them, he would have been like a superstar. Like, everyone knows him in League of Ireland, but like, he would have been Matt Letizia kind of type over.
It's a very good comparison, actually. Yeah.
Super player.
And like when we obviously as fans and stuff saw what he did on the pitch on match day, I'd say during training and stuff, it must have been amazing to train with him, the stuff that he'd be able to do.
Yeah, well, to be honest now, I didn't train with them that much because obviously they were up in there.
Oh, you were trained down here, yeah. Right.
But I've seen on the pitch there, look, you know, the Brandywell, it's windy at the best of times, but we're playing there in the winter and there's just gales coming in on the coast. I launched the ball one night and with the wind, came down, it must have travelled 100 yards and height and wind with a pace on it. It came over his shoulder and in one movement, he over his shoulder, took one movement, took it inside, on his touch at the same time, just took it inside. Defender, it was the most outrageous thing I've ever seen in my life. I hit it and I went, oh, jeez, that's gone.
Yeah.
And it came over his shoulder and one touch came in at the same time. It was just, that's unbelievable. Yeah, on the games.
Isn't it a pity that there weren't cameras at every single game like there is nowadays?
Yeah, that's what you miss. Like, yeah, that's what I miss. Like he even the year we won the league, got to the cup final, he was struggling big time with injuries, and we were playing with the Brandywell again, and we were playing the bottom of the league. We were playing. I think it was quarterfinals of the FAI Cup, and we were playing Home Farm Everton, who were bottom of the league at that stage. Another game, forced win, and actually John Cowley scored against us, a thunderbolt from like 30 yards. So we were struggling then to break them down in the second half, and I think it was 14 minutes left, and Liam came on a sub. 1-0 down, he came on, he was on about 8 minutes, scored 2 goals and took him back off because of his injury. So literally put him on, won the game and take him back. Just mad.
Listen, just one thing before we let you go. Obviously, you talked about that spell you had at Leeds United for a few years as a kind of a youth player or whatever. Was there anybody that you played with there who kind of went on, or who you saw said this fella's magic from your time?
Well, yeah, I would have played there when they won the league. So I was there when Cantona was there, sort of thing, right. You know. And obviously I played in the under-21s with Roy Keane as well.
Right.
So them two did all right in their careers, you know.
They did fairly well in yeah. I mean, would you have come across Cantona? Like, would you have trained with him at the same time, or were you separate?
Yeah, no, back then it's not, they didn't have as many players back then. So back then it was just for reserves and the first team. Reserves and first team trained together.
Right.
So I would have trained with him every day. He actually came over on trial to Sheffield Wednesday and played a game. And they didn't take him. Trevor Francis, I think, was the manager then. And Howard Wilkinson saw him and brought him up only on trial to Leeds. And then signed him. And then the rest is history. But like Gary Speed was playing that team, Dave Paddy, Gordon Strack, and Gary McAllister. Like that's the year they won the league. Like,
yeah, that's
we're
surrounded by.
Yeah, like it was just so John Lubitsch was in goal. So, but as I say to a lot of people, they haven't won the league since I left. You know what I mean? So
it's all been downhill. Well, listen, I don't know if Cantona would get into that team. When you look at Eddie Gormley and Paul Hegarty in the centre of that midfield, very hard to displace either of them. Dan Connor in goal, Pascal Vodafkan, Terry Palmer, Darren Kelly, Richie Byrne at the back, and then the midfield, really strong looking midfield. Shane Robinson, Eddie Gormley and Paul Hegarty in the centre, Paul Ozam wide left, and Liam Coyle and Noel Hunt up front. That's a pretty good team. You have to say, Tony, that is a good 1 to 11.
Yeah, I wouldn't fancy coming up against that now, to be honest, you know.
Yeah.
All good lads, all really good lads. Yeah. It's probably only one person on that whole team that I wouldn't fancy going out for a drink with. And that's saying something because I don't generally really like people. So with all that, they're all brilliant lads. I'll tell you off air.
I'll tweet it. Listen, it's great talking to you, Tony, and hopefully, I say this to all the lads I've been talking to in recent weeks, you know, hopefully we'll see you back at a live match and we're all watching live football again very soon. You know, I don't know how soon it'll be, but fingers crossed, it'll be pretty soon anyway.
Great stuff. Thanks very much.
Thanks a million, Tony. Great talking. See you soon.
See you now. Bye-bye.
Care.